Hi Capricorn. Alright, welcome to this place. Welcome back if you're returning. Okay, so we're gonna jump right in here. So you know something that someone else doesn't know. Like you have secret information. Someone's aware of something, or there's something about this. I could see this this is coming through as a few different ways. The first way was in a very positive sense, like you just know things that other people don't know, and that's positive, but I feel like sometimes that's frustrating, right? Because it's like, well, I know that I can see past this standardized like perspective on the situation. Someone has a wider perspective. Again, there's some kind of secret knowledge. I guess you could also know other people's secrets. If this has to do with other people knowing things that you don't, I feel like if there's anything you want to learn about, then that's all. That's easy for you to like pick up on something right now. So again, if you're teaching yourself anything or taking a class, secret knowledge is kind of like the occult too, right? It's that's hidden knowledge. It's like kind of hidden in plain sight, right? So maybe you understand like masterful speaking, or you understand the I heard the deeper parts of life. Okay, it's like you're not just looking at something on the surface. You're recognizing what it takes to make something grow. Okay. I also feel like there's more fluidity with something than there has been. Let me write that down. Okay. Remember that you're changing. The last 20 years, right? Let's make that smaller. So the last 10 years have been huge for you, right? Huge. Even the way that you physically look. Huge. The way people perceive you, how you're defining yourself, all of this has been changing. Now we're kind of like I feel like you're at a stage where you don't have to worry about whether the plant is like gonna die, like, or if what you are interacting with is gonna grow. You're in a growth stage right now. Like it is established. It's showing me something that is established, that's already past the stage of like weakness, right? When it's just a little sprout, we may say to ourselves, well, I don't know if that's going to grow or not. This is something, again, that's already established. It's not, the wind is not going to just blow it over. A heavy rain is not going to take it out, like wash it away. If someone like stepped on it, it would just bounce back up. Or if someone bumped into it, it's like, it would just, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool with it. Okay. The last 6 months has also been kind of big it's interesting we're going back to the past, but you know what? It was your birthday, you know, eight months ago. So we're at an adjustment point for you, and I feel like what's really nice is sometimes when we get to an adjustment point astrologically, it can be like, okay, something big happens in the external world that shakes something up and causes us to move as individuals. I feel like because you're stable and have been doing, I heard, the right things, sometimes this is just taking care of yourself instead of pushing, then your adjustment point is that like light comes to you, and you actually are so blessed. I heard you are so blessed right now that you have an opportunity to bless other people. And I think that's where a person is at. Leo's reading was very positive. I feel like you could tune into that. Your card for the the card of the day is the Ten of Cups, and they received the Ten of Cups as their first card. Okay, those cards wanted to come over here, but I know what we're supposed to do, like what the intention was, and I'm not going to sway from letting little things distract me right now. Let's see. Just a minute, I want to take a note. Have you been practicing your penmanship? Could be a lot of creative energy in this time too. Home's doing something interesting, right? Maybe we'll go more into this. I'm looking at your astrological map that I made you, so maybe we'll go into that in a little bit. Give me a second. I made myself Armenian coffee. Oh, it's so good. Actually, I wanted to do that. Should I do that now? No, not yet. I'll read your coffee cup in a second. It's in my blood. Okay, maybe that's something. Okay, historically, like your bloodline or bloodlines, what are some of the beautiful, like, qualities of them that you admire? Maybe that's something that you're also tapping into. Let's see, Capricorn. Capricorn. Wow. Okay, so you have the Justice card. This card speaks of karma. I think there are trigger words, right? There are trigger words for people. It's like you say it, people hear these words, and it's like they instantly like shut off or open up. So a person's conscious of their language, or is becoming more conscious of like linguistics and how beyond all that, because I feel like this is part of the secret knowledge too, is like, oh, a person understands the upside down world now. Okay, because this card particularly is all about a person being aware that it's like they no longer are denying, or this is the suggestion, is to no longer deny the consequences of one's actions. One is no longer denying the consequence of actions, right? It says, own the results of your thoughts, words, and deeds, for even thought constitutes action in the energy cycles of the universe. Adjust your actions and embrace love. Excuse me. It says this, remember these words. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man soweth, he shall also reap. So maybe someone's like in a stage now of like accepting, let's say, karma in the hard way, right? Most people look at it that way, be like, oh, that's your karma. And then it's like, oh, okay. I mean, that doesn't help a situation when someone's just like, well, that's... It doesn't help when we necessarily tell somebody else that as such a straight arrow, right? It's more like, what if we change the word karma, for instance, to lesson? Well, maybe that's the lesson right now. And for some of you, the lesson has to do with no longer being afraid of something. Could even be of your own power and, like, again, who you are now. I do feel like there's a little bit of or has been kind of happening where, like, the definition of you and what you're connected to is changing, right? Like, some of those parts stay the same, but like you change. So it's like how you show up to the situation, what kind of energy you want to bring into it. For some, it could be whether you want to participate with it or not, right? Maybe you're just expanding, maybe you're detracting. And if you want to know more about energy, Aries reading talked a lot about that. That's one of your squares. So we have karma. Okay. I like that. That's a very mature card. It's kind of like, all right, wait, and no one's perfect, right? So we don't want to sit in this like, because to me, Capricorn, I just watched well, how do I, let me back this up. Aries talked about our energy and like where we put it out and when we need to bring it back into ourselves. Libra talked a lot about shame in relation to the experiences that we've had with other people in this time, especially in Leo season, in ways of love, romance, or children, or family, whatever. It's pretty wide, relationships, right? And there's a lot going on for you, especially Capricorn rising, like in your nocturnal part of your map, in relation to your moon, which shows like a really great deepening within a person. If you've been learning a lot of lessons through the external world, say over this is like kind of the last 7 years, could even be 7 to 14 years if you want to look at that time frame. But now we're talking about the next 7 years are big, which is kind of like 6.5 for you. That's interesting. It's kind of technical. I also saw the numbers, pardon me, 9 and 11. So I guess we could be talking about 2001. I also see the number 2 and 7. So maybe when you're 27 also, that's another like fold over. Okay, we're not supposed to use these cards. Got it? This one, yes. What's this one? Awesome, the Sister of Earth. Good. Oh, this is such a beautiful card in relation to, in combination, Capricorn. So this is about Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Let's highlight those in your map. Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Let's do it in green. I like growth. But I want to add a little bit of red for like inspiration and passion. Let's make, okay, cool. So 2 out of these 3 animals are horned, right? The ram and the bull. Remember that these are initiation stages, right? Because we just went through a season of looking at what we've manifested in our lives, whether consciously or not, right? Sometimes other people facilitate that for us, and that's beautiful. It's helpful, right? We can't do everything ourselves. It'd be too much. But then that we moved into a season of like, how do I feel about what I'm creating with? How do I feel like, who am I? I heard in my emotional body now. Like, who, again, I see how do I feel about what, who and what I'm creating with, and where and how am I wanting to interact with that? Like, how much, right? Do I need to, again, Aries, do I need to pull back my troops? Is it time to put my energy forward? Let's read this Sister of Earth and see. Oh, this is I really like the energy of this reading, Capricorn. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for understanding cause and effect also. Like understanding karma. And I know that hasn't always been easy. I just had a bunch of tears, like water build behind my eyes. Not hot water. That usually happens with Scorpio. It's not hot water. It wasn't like I was ultimately denying this feeling. It's just, it's like it's like someone can remember. But I feel like this was more water of acknowledgement. That's a big word, acknowledgement. How many letters is that? Many. Many, many, many. Okay. Sister of Earth. Do you have a sister? Or who are your sisters? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so somebody else had this card. I want to say it was Aries, but it says this. Earth Sister says, this is the brink of transformation. Remember, she's looking right into this sacred path. This may be into your new, I heard destiny, like as it moves forward. It says something new is coming. A birth is about to occur. Be advised that the diamond, the world's hardest and most brilliant gem, is born of the deepest folds of the earth's darkness. Your own light comes into your darkest hour. You are moving steadily with stability. You have mastered your sense of who you are spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and physically. It says you are pregnant with the secret of the future, secret knowledge. God, haven't we talked about this before? It says, congratulations, dear one. As a result of your diligent preparation, you have made yourself the perfect receptacle. The seed of creativity has been planted within you. This shows me such awareness, Capricorn. This could also be, the sister can be anybody, male or female, but she has a softness to her. She's, again, the one that represents something new, something that is steady and stable, something that, because we could say, there was one part in here where I kind of wanted to stop myself, but I guess we'll touch on it now. When it says you have mastered your sense of who you are, I almost feel like in ways of this spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, I feel as if you are mastering that. Like you may have gotten your master's degree, right? But then it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that? So if you've already defined this for yourself, your spiritual space, your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, I mean, I feel like personally that all shifts, especially most of us here now, like connecting with more water. It seems to be a collective thing when I asked. So it's kind of like, and that's that pregnancy energy, right? We create water to create life. So whatever's being mastered here, right? This master class is, I don't feel as if there's like huge changes needed right now. Because again, if the seed of creativity at this time has already been planted within you, it may be kind of easy, again, to be like, well, who am I now? But not feeling so empty or lost because it feels different. I mean, some of you particularly could also be, and again, I feel like this is at least over the last 6 months, is like either redefining some spiritual things for yourself or coming back into a spiritual space. Maybe how you're thinking about that in the role in life. Again, emotionally, intellectually. Pardon me. This does such a good job that I have to be careful how intense it is. Okay, this one? No. She's smiling too. And you know... Oh, this one. Yes. The crossing. The crossing. Beautiful. Just a second. So the heart is calling you. Some of you may be detaching from your mother or from where you came from. I'm seeing like ovaries, like it's maybe your parents are getting older. I don't know. Or this is again you to your own children. It's where it's not a detachment of like I don't feel connected to whatever the thing is that you've already been a part of, that's been a part of your life for some time. It's the detachment feeling again. It's not this feeling of like loss ultimately, or like I heard I have nothing. It's the perspective of detachment where it's like I don't feel the need to control this. Again, it's a place of acceptance. The lightning path. Ooh, awesome. If you're curious about this deck, it's amazing. It's called the Tarot of the Spirit. I only use it on certain occasions. Like it has a big book that comes with it too, which I haven't had yet. This little bit of information is almost like enough. You know, if I gave this full dissertation, it would be like, okay, this is pretty intense. You know, I make that mistake sometimes, like giving too much information. It's because it's not just exactly like I want to be understood ultimately, although that's a nice thing. It's more of like I love sharing information. I want everyone to know, like, I want us all to be on the same page is really like my goal, you know? So let's see this Two of Wind. But yeah, sometimes we only need a little bit. A little bit makes a big difference, right? This page, this Sister of Earth. So again, if the crossing is kind of if you're still moving through this energy, this says this. It says, there is a sense of release from captivity. And again, I see that like that fluidity I felt. It says, maintain balance gently, and peace will continue. It is time to use all of your wisdom and understanding to access the situation you now face. It is now time to use all of your wisdom and understanding. And again, I feel like this is this, you know, things that others don't. There's a secret knowledge. It's like, I mean, shoot, this can go. I want to give a bunch of examples because that's kind of fun sometimes, but like you're going to relate it however you relate. So because what is knowledge really for? Initially, it's for learning. Information is for learning, which then gives knowledge. I know this. Knowledge moves into wisdom when we apply it in the physical world. That doesn't always mean, sometimes it means sharing information. Sometimes it means I'm seeing it and feeling it where it's more like, all right, Do you see what we're doing right here? If you can see, it's like we just put our hands in prayer and put them in front of our face, in front of our mouth to silence it. Sometimes that's the wisdom, is that, like, this isn't the time to say something. Or if it has to do with other people, because I know you're so responsible there, it's like, sometimes it's just let other people do what they do, right? And not try to control it. Because, all right, we'll leave it like that. I feel like this time just flew by, like we could have like a 45-minute conversation. I want to pick an animal card for you to close this out, and then we'll go into your extended over on Patreon. The bottom of the deck said, evolve into your complexity, or you're evolving into your complexity, not complication, complex. That means there's more pieces to the puzzle, right? Maybe you're getting an opportunity to rearrange some things with this karma, with this wisdom, again, and knowledge. Capricorn, thank you very much. It's in you. Oh my God, in this Lion, in this Leo season, it's in you. Focus on the big picture. Okay, let's see. This is number 24. What were you doing when you were 24? Where'd you live? Okay. Oh, awesome. I love this story. Okay, wait. When you were a child, what was your childhood story that you read when you were a little kid? What was that story that you remember? Maybe some of you still have the book. I don't know. Out of that story, who do you relate to in it? Okay. It says, the not-so-cowardly lion. In the story of the Wizard of Oz, the cowardly lion traveled the yellow brick road to find the Emerald City, to request what his heart most longed for, courage. Little did he know that during his entire frightening journey, he already possessed that which he sought so desperately. For in his heart, there roared a courage that was always there to claim. The cowardly lion needed the outer journey to understand what he most desired was already within. What you seek, you, too, have it in you. Do not give up the journey. Persevere and endure the uncertainty. Remember that having courage does not mean that you are fearless. It means you do the right thing despite being scared. The cowardly lion, who now has transformed into the confident lion, shares his medicine with you with these questions. Feel free to pause in between. What if everything you've been searching for is not only right in front of you, but it is you? What if everything you've been chasing outside of yourself was part of you that you couldn't see within? What if you were looking in others to find the you that was screaming to be self-actualized? What if every beautiful quality you deeply want, you already possess? Now I want to cry. What if the sweep you off your feet love is your own love within, reflected back to you? Oh my God, I love when you get lovey. because you are so soft. What if the gift, I love you, Capricorn. What if the gift you have been waiting to actualize was crying out, I'm right here, I'm right here. Can you see me? What if the whole entire time it was you that you were searching for? What if you choose you and stop waiting for others to choose you? What if you stopped running towards external validation to prove your worth and instead went within and became yourself? The card that comes after this too is the Tiger, which is claim your power. And I feel like we talked about this lion tiger energy on the collective reading for Leo season, right? All those beautiful gods and goddesses ride these lions. You know, like you, I heard you are the vessel for that, for what you seek. You are the vessel. I mean, does sometimes the vessel have to be shifted? Like, sure. Internally, externally, molded a little, refined a little. And I feel like for most of you here, most of you are my peers and my elders. You're incredibly intelligent, more spiritually, I mean, so spiritually sound, like advanced. It's a great honor to even be over here in this position because, well, I'm not even close to the levels that some of you are at. And so I respect you so much, and I need you to know that. Right? I'm just the messenger. I'm not a guru. I'm not even a teacher. I'm just a student. And I sometimes I get a D- on the test, right? So anyway, the point of the story is I feel like these are questions you've been asking. If those of you who are here, maybe you're new to deeper levels of shadow work, these are questions to be asked. Or maybe you just want to go over them again, because again, you're a new version of yourself. Or you're becoming, you're strong enough. Taurus talked about this too, like being this tree that is grounded, right? But like it can, the beauty of its sway. You know, like I heard I'm so grateful. They talked about this. I'm hearing it again. It's like I'm so grateful for this movement. Do you know what I mean? Wheel of Fortune. Look at this movement. And Libra had this card. Wow. All right, I guess we're going to leave there's the mountain. The recognition of the mountain, the recognition of your hard work. I heard maybe you need to give yourself a good job. Okay, the sun. All right, we're going to leave that like that. I don't want to go too long because this can only record so long and I don't want it to crap out. I love you so much, Capricorn. I really hope this was helpful. Yeah. Thank you for being emotional, too. That doesn't always come through on your readings, but I do love when you get into the feeling of love right? Because like earth to you, air to you, fire to do it. Like, I feel like you got that in spades. You know, your main lesson is water. And cleansing that, right? Feeling worthy of all the things that you succeed at in life. Okay. I'll see you over on Patreon if you're over there. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Please take care. Peace.